Hey,
Hi, Donna. Good morning.
good morning. How are you?
Very good. How are you?
I'm doing good. A little windy out there, but I just came inside. I was out in the playground for a little bit.
Well, you look fresh as always.
Well, thank you. I'm excited for today, actually.
Me too. Me too.
So
This is really fun. Yeah.
it's going to be so fun. And I have to tell you, I was so excited. I kept thinking of amazing things that I could add. Can I show you
Yeah.
the wall? So I just started. Can you see?
I can see the
On my
yeah, I
stickers?
see the
No,
little
I just
postage.
started
Yeah.
thinking of all these things I wanted to add, and so I just put sticky notes everywhere so I didn't forget.
Oh, that's really cute. That's
Yeah.
adorable. I was actually so I thought of welcoming you with a little song because
Oh,
it's our kind of music. It's okay. You have to hear it before you
are you gonna
um
are you gonna sing for me? Are you gonna
Yeah, I was gonna say, welcome, Donna.
listen
What
to
are we
you?
gonna talk about today?
Do it. Looks like we have some people already, right?
Yep. Some people are
Yay!
starting to join. So yay,
Wonderful.
welcome everyone. Welcome. Thank you for tuning in. This is my very, very good friend, Donna. She's also one of our experts at the Stroller Club. A little background into her. She's been more than 36 years. 36 years, right, Donna?
Can you believe it? It's hard for
My
me.
God, no, I can't.
I have the heart of a young person and the
Yes, you do.
experience of an older person. So it's
The
extra.
best combination, the best of the two worlds.
Feels
So
that
she's
way.
got more than 36 years in education with a specialization in music. And whatever I've known you like almost 3 years now.
Yeah.
You are so incredibly good with kids and children and adults, basically like all people.
I love humans.
You really do. You're just a warm person. You really are. And
Thank you.
what I love about Donna is her penchant for learning. She's constantly learning. I don't know how you make time in your schedule, but every time I talk to you, you tell me about some new course that you're doing, some new, I don't know,
There's so
something
much
new you're
out
doing,
there.
isn't it? But
Yeah.
it's great. I think that's what makes a good teacher. Someone who learns is actually a good teacher,
Yeah, I agree.
right?
And I think that the more we reach out to learn new things, our brain, the plasticity, our neural networks continue to grow. And that's really important for me. I want to stay alive and awake and creative and cognizant as long as I can. So,
Well, you know how they say, like, you have to keep your mind young to
yeah,
be young. It's not the body, it's the mind
absolutely.
that lives.
Yeah. I wouldn't mind a young
And I
body.
really
I
honestly,
think that.
but I've actually learned that from you, like honestly, like you're technologically more adept than I am. I am completely inept.
Oh,
Like it took me so long to figure out lives,
but you did it.
but
And that's a new
I'm
neural
still,
network, right? Which is
yeah, right, isn't it?
yeah.
Yes. So anyway, let's dive right in with
Okay,
my
absolutely.
very, very, very favorite person, Donna. So she's one of the experts for the Stroller Club. She's been curating music classes. So we wanted to dedicate this live to just talking to Donna, having a very casual chat, and understanding what it is behind music that she really feels has prenatal benefits, and what we can see from her classes.
Yeah,
Right?
thank you, Sam. I really feel honored to be a part of this because you are truly an amazing person, and
Oh,
everything that you touch, I think, just turns to gold. So
okay.
from my heart, I feel just so deeply blessed and honored to know you. So,
Thank you.
yeah.
No, it makes me. You're very kind. You're
Well,
way too kind.
it's these kinds of connections, though. I mean, I think of music as one of those things that facilitates connection and community. And
Mhm.
this, just our conversation here and just the wider world that we're like being viewed. I mean, we're being viewed by people from all over the place. And to me,
Definitely.
that's this connection is so it's so vast and it's so vital, especially
Mhm.
now, thinking of
Mhm.
ways that we can just continue to be connected as humans. Music and babies. I mean, prenatal music for the unborn child, like that to me is the ultimate connection to that you can bring right from the beginning and on so many different levels. I get really excited about it. I've been excited all morning. I'm like, yes, it's happening. I get to talk about it.
I love this too. So music, I know, has been very fundamental to you. It's been one of my very fundamental pillars all through my life. And I feel music has been the sort of, you know, like the calm in our crazy days, the busy life, the monotonous routines we set up. It's that consistency, but it's that piece of calm. It's that little bubble of zen. It's the place I go to when I'm either stressed or happy. Like I sing when I'm happy and I sing when I'm stressed. And it's amazing. And it's like what you said, it's ageless, it's timeless, it's boundaryless, it connects cultures, it connects generations, you know, like
oh my gosh, indeed, right? Music. When you think of music that you grew up with that was shared from your family, you look at the ancestral lineage and just how that just connects us on just a different time and space. I mean, that in itself is such a blessing and so beautiful. I mean, music has so many gifts.
It carries cultural learnings from generation to generation. Like I might not be able to speak a certain language, but I can, like if I hear, so my personal background, like my ancestors are Marwari, which is a certain region in Rajasthan, and it's a different language. It's Marwari language. I don't know how to speak the language, but my grandmother used to sing me songs in that language. So the songs I understand.
Beautiful.
Like if someone sings a song, I will get it, but I can't speak the language.
Oh,
right? Isn't that amazing?
That. No, that's beautiful because that's your connection to your ancestral lands and your family lineage. Wow, how beautiful. That's so beautiful. Well, and I think it's beautiful too when you think about just expanding your own palette for music, and you can also take this when you think about expanding music for the unborn child, you know, for that baby that's still developing, all kinds of music, whether it's Celtic music, whether it's music from, you know, your place of origin, ancestral music, or something different like Javanese gamelan. Those kinds of experiences are so, like that increasing expansion of repertoire is so important. And I think, because I've taught prenatal classes, but I've also taught all the way up through high school, different types of music classes, especially multicultural music classes, and then try to bring in music from all over the world. I can see how it changes the brain structure. What we think of as, you know, what we're familiar with as far as music, like our scale, listening to a different scale, like listening to music from a part of region of India that has a completely different scale. Well, our mind is going to start thinking differently, and it's going to start developing neural pathways that are different. And the same goes for when you're pregnant. I mean, your baby is listening to this, and it ignites parts of the brain that help to create these neural pathways, which is amazing. So different types of music is that experience, I think, is really valuable.
I think that's amazing. So I know one time you were telling me about going back to like the power of music. You were talking about how you use it even in classes when there's disarray and like you want to bring calm, and music helps you actually bring the kids together. Was it middle school or was it younger kids? I forget.
I've done it up to middle school, and I've done it in elementary and then younger classrooms. So, and I think our group here now knows when they do see me come in, they'll usually get kind of quiet because I think they're expecting me to sing, which is kind of funny. But
well, you sing beautifully, so
I love singing.
You're gorgeous, yeah.
Oh, it's such a passion of mine, and I love to share it. And but I think, you know, when I'm in a classroom, if I need to go in for some reason, let's say that there's some disruptive behavior, it's not unusual for me to maybe sing something, maybe sing through a transition. Moms and dads can do this with their young children too. It's like, you know, anything from leaving a park to it's time to go, we have 5 minutes, Let's count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We can sing our children through these transitions, and it's so gentle, so gentle. Time to finish our breakfast, and then we go to school. I mean, they're just simple, but you can tell, like, when you do it, when a parent does it, or even a teacher, because I coach a lot of teachers to do that, you feel calm and your voice is calm. And we all know that when our voice is calm, the mirror back to us is a child is going to feel that calmness, right? There's such a taking that edge out of our voice, like, okay, it's time to finish. Like, we need to get in the car, we need to get moving. It's a way to stay present. Yeah.
That's brilliant. I'm gonna try that out over the weekend.
It works on partners too.
The
garage door needs to be fixed. When are you going to do it? I've tried it. I'm not always.
How did it work on your husband?
You can try anything.
I'm definitely gonna try the kids though on the weekend. The weekends are full of just like little Tasmanians running around the house. But I know what you mean, because so my daughter and I do this little music back and forth in the mornings, and a lot of times our conversations just become a song. So like sometimes she'll wake up and she'll tell me, she'll be like, Mom, can we do like the song talk? And so sometimes I'll just be she does. It's really fun. And sometimes I'll just be like, what do you want to wear today? And she'll be like, how about my unicorn dress? And I'll be like, but it's really cold. And then she'll try to figure out a word that rhymes with cold. So then I'll prod her on, and then she'll just say, Mama, I want to be bold.
Language development. Wow, that's so great.
It's fabulous. Like the neural connections. Yeah.
So you didn't tell me, like, you live kind of life in a Broadway play, it sounds like. You're like, that's beautiful. I love that. I love that she's so engaged too. I mean, I think that whole idea of music as a connection, I think to me that you know, when we sing and we have a response, you know, I mean, those are some of the beginning songs that I teach when I'm teaching young children, is call and response from different parts of West Africa and even the South, you know, that call and response, because it creates a sense of community. You know, I say something, you respond. It's like that echo, which is beautiful. And, you know, as you were talking, I was thinking music, you know, singing to your child. And when I think of prenatal music, when I think of, you know, when I think of singing to when I was pregnant to my baby, there's something about just being fully present. Our life is so busy. Our life is there's so much going on. And I think of maternal stress. I think of, you know, moms that, I mean, my own daughter gave birth during a pandemic. I mean, it was such a, you know, it was definitely such a different type of year, and there was a different level of stress. And she found that with her partner, just singing and creating a consistent song, a couple of songs that they sang, was calming for them, and it allowed them to be fully present. They didn't think about, okay, did we send out the invitations to the baby shower? Did we they didn't think of any of that. They curled up and they just focused on who's now 9-month-old Luca, but they just focused on him and being there together. And that could be with a partner, that could be with a close friend or family member, that it could be by yourself too. I mean, I did plenty of times when it was just me and it was just Allison and just us creating this relationship through music. And it was our first way of communicating.
That's beautiful. So do you think when Allison and her partner did like all these musical things during pregnancy, do you think the baby recognizes it now, or does he respond more to those songs than he does to the other ones?
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. So because I'm an educator at heart, I always track these things. So I'm like, we have a little spreadsheet set up, like, this is what we did. What's the follow-up? I mean, it's just kind of like on my mind first, because I like to try different things. And I want to see, well, what's actually working? And there's so many variables. But what worked for Luca? What did he respond to? Absolutely. The songs that they sang, the stories the stories that they told every night, you know, the little story that they told, it those were the things that he responded to the most. And the rhythms. So his dad is a drummer too. And so I talked to them about how wonderful to tap a steady beat and to have him just feel that it's a firm tactile so that he can actually feel it. And that kid's been on a drum since he was 5 months old, you know, just
really?
like, oh yeah, steady beat. Now, one of my Montessori trainers used to call the womb the discotheque for the child, which I thought was great. She's like, well, think about it. In there are all these sounds and vibrations and rhythms. And with our voice and with our songs, we add more to that disco, that discotheque. And right, that steady beat, that steady rhythm. Well, the baby has that, listens to that every day, every moment, right? All of that. And we enhance it.
I mean, there is a lot of scientific evidence, right, that shows, I mean, they say that playing Mozart or like classical tunes, I think the way they kind of conceptualize it is that it soothes the mom, it reduces the stress levels, brings down the cortisol levels, reduces anxiety, but it also stimulates, like you said, neural pathways.
Right.
Like it stimulates some part of the brain where it helps their brain connect faster. It helps in language development, cognitive development, right? So this is like a whole world out there, and it starts in the womb.
Right. This is like the first learning experience. So I think of anything that creates an experience and ignites a part of the brain is going to eventually create some type of neural pathway, some type of synapse, some type of connection. So I love a variety of different types of music. I happen to be a big Mozart fan. But I think playing, you know, when you're playing soothing music, when you're playing certain types of music, I think it is very soothing to the mom. When hormonal levels are like you mentioned, cortisol, when our hormonal levels are normalized, when we have all that oxytocin, when we're experiencing peace, well, that is definitely felt by the baby, because that is, you know, that baby is part of our body. And also, it's very calming to them, into their nervous system. I've read some great studies about the differences between babies listening to Metallica, heavy metal, and babies listening to soothing music. And they will say that the babies that are listening to like really loud music or heavy metal or really thrashing kick, and they've measured discomfort. So and that makes sense, right?
Yeah. I mean, it increases the heart rate, right? Like increases the heartbeat. Yeah.
Exactly. And that could be perceived as like external stimuli that is very threatening or frightening. And, you know, I mean, we're still learning. This is still, you know, they've done lots of research, but it's still kind of, I mean, this sounds silly, but in its infancy, but I'll use that word. But it's just, we're still learning. And I think there's no harm. And if anything, there's so much benefit. I mean, there's so many benefits to offering music, because again, connection and beauty and aesthetics. I mean, I love to think that when my child was born, she recognized Mozart and Brahms. Like that would be fantastic. But she's very musical. She's very musical. So
I mean, but it's important, like you said, the choice is important, right? Like parents have to make that choice. I was actually recently reading a book. It's called Origins by Annie Murphy Paul. And it basically talks about how whatever experience the baby has in the womb, their brain sort of tells them that this is the world you're going into. So all their entire development gets focused around that experience. So if they get calming songs or soothing songs, they know that they're going into a happy, calm world. And that's how their brain develops. You know, if they are nourished with good food, they feel that they're going into a world of plenty. So their body develops healthily like that. It doesn't need to store fat because it knows it's going to get food when it comes out.
Isn't that amazing?
It's unbelievable, right? Like everything is programmed so well. So it goes back to music, like the choice of music that we give, it gives them that, like, for example, you were talking about exposure to global music. I think
Yeah.
that's fabulous, right? It tells them they're coming into a connected world, a world that is not divided,
Right.
right? Imagine bringing a child that is already ready, like with a fertile mind, to go into a connected world.
Oh, I love that, Sam. What a beautiful, like, just saying that, like a connected world. I mean, I hadn't put it in that type of context. I mean, verbally, I love that, but it's true.
Yeah.
It's like, well, they've already experienced this. They're
Right?
primed
Yeah.
for that.
Yeah.
Isn't
Yeah.
that what we want? Right?
Yeah. As
I love
parents, that's
that.
all we, that's the prime
Yeah.
most objective, right? I'd want
Oh,
my kid to be a happy kid in a happy
yeah.
world, right?
Yeah. I love that. I mean, when we think about all of the things that are in the external world too, we think about the level of our voice,
Mm-hmm.
loud yelling, loud. I mean, these kinds of things have an impact. I mean,
Yeah.
and I think music is, if you even have it on in the background, I mean, music is one of those things that calms us. And we always need to think about ways that for us and for our partner, or if we have more in our family, how do we soothe ourselves? How do we calm ourselves so that we bring this baby into this, this world that
Yeah.
is just waiting for them, right?
Mm-hmm. It's amazing. So I know you've got like a ton more experience than I do.
No.
Have you like done like I wanted to hear from you like about your classes that you've done for
Okay.
prenatal parents? What was their experience like? Or what was your experience taking them through that class? And
Well, oh gosh, I mean, what a beautiful experience too. First of
yeah,
all, I come with some doula experience as well, so I'm always loving the experience of being with families and women that are just in this expectant place, which is it's so beautiful, and I love offering a space to where they can experience being present and learn some new skills and that's really what it's all about. I mean, I feel what I offer is an opportunity to learn to feel calm, lessen maternal stress, to develop another means of communicating with partner. I mean, a lot of this can be used for labor as well. I mean, some of these songs, some of this breath, because I do a lot of breath work too.
okay.
I When I am in a class, I really do also like to go with what's happening in the class. I
Of
might
course.
have a small group of women and families, like a partners are there as well, who really want to learn more breath work or want to learn more movement. And so I'll incorporate those things into the classes because, I'll do a lot of singing. We usually start out with a lot of relaxation.
Okay.
I'll introduce some familiar tunes. I use a lot of folk songs. I do introduce classical music. We do a lot of that for relaxation and sometimes at the end. I also will change the words up. So if I'm doing something like a song that some people might know is Skip to My Lou. So I use a lot of songs that you can sing later with your child, which is so great. And instead of like, Lou, Lou, skip to my Lou, I might do pat your baby, pat your baby. Tap your baby, tap your baby. And we're going to incorporate some really firm tactile touch. So the baby is getting sound and is also feeling this movement. And again, it's another layer of communicating, which is really fun. I mean, it's so fun to see just a group of people gathering together to enjoy music and to bring it to their baby, which is amazing.
I love that. I love the little tap the baby, tap your baby. But so do
Yeah.
you have to be sorry,
What's
go
that?
ahead. Go ahead.
No.
Oh, I was just gonna say, like, do you have to be in a certain trimester? Would you, or is it something that you feel like right off the bat? Because I know the baby starts hearing after, what is it,
About
14 weeks?
16 weeks. Yeah,
Yeah.
about 16 weeks we start, definitely that sounds are picked up. So usually about fifth or sixth month, I might get women coming in, interested in starting to take some of these classes. I could have people like the last trimester, but second and third trimester is usually, but again, right from the get-go. I mean, if you know you're pregnant,
Right.
I mean,
Right.
believe me, when you find out you're pregnant, you're going to be singing. I mean, most people are. They're just happy. That's just part of it. So,
Yeah.
Yeah, but the classes usually it's about from the 5th month, yeah, so 2nd and 3rd trimester. But it varies. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, what better way, right? You can just start right off the bat. But I was just wondering what.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well,
And
and
what?
you think too, hearing is all about vibration. So
Yeah.
even right from the beginning, everything is going to be about vibration. You know, the way we're talking, our voices, all the resonance, the things around it, everything is vibration. And that's when we think about, when we think about, well, I guess I'll call it a soundscape. So that's the soundscape around us. That is all of the sounds that are there. And when we start organizing it, then it becomes music. So, so we'll start out with those vibrations and the tapping and our voice. And then little by little, you know, we organize that and we start singing songs and we start doing more organized beats and rhythms. And maybe we'll introduce what it's like to have a steady beat and then a rest. You know, and those are, I mean, it's fun. It's fun and interactive. And the baby interacts anyways. So the baby is interacting through movement. So we do part of the class is moving your body and swaying and holding your baby and swaying back and forth, tapping and singing a lullaby. And the baby will move around. So the baby's participating early, which is so great. You're developing the baby. And we know what that's like when the baby's kicking, when your baby's kicking and moving. But that repeated movement and to those songs, it's going to synchronize and entrain, and you're going to be moving as one. And what a beautiful thing, right?
Oh my gosh.
I mean, please calm me down if I'm getting too excited.
No, you like take me back to my pregnancy days, and I'm just like, it was so beautiful.
It's so beautiful.
Yeah, it really is. It's the most
yeah,
beautiful.
just to be there and just it's such a beautiful thing, bringing life and then bringing life into this world and just experiencing other ways we can communicate and bring joy to our baby and also joy to our partners, like whoever they are. I mean, we can do this on our own. We can do this with a partner, but it's such a great way to facilitate communication. This is the exact communication you're going to need during labor. That communication, like what feels good, what do we need, soothing music, what, you know, and everybody's taste is different, but these are all skills that will be used in labor as well. And then when our baby is born and grows, these songs will still be there. This connection will still be there. It's lifelong.
It's so beautiful. But so do you feel like, I know a lot of my friends keep asking me this question. They're like, because I keep propagating music and I'm like, you should go do a music class and you're prenatal. And the one question I always get asked is, do I need to know how to sing? Because I'm a bathroom singer. I'm really like, I don't like singing like in front of people. I'm really bad. My voice is
and here
not
you
that
are
big.
on live singing. Can you believe this?
But a lot of people have that, right? Like they have reservations. Most people say, oh, we're bathroom singers. We don't, you know, I don't want to sing in front of people and I don't want to. So how important do you think that is? Or do you think that doesn't matter at all?
I truly believe that within all of us, you know, we are musicians because we appreciate music. We value it. We understand the qualities of music. And you don't have to be a professional singer. Not only do I work with parents, but I work with a lot of teachers as well who are like, I feel really uncomfortable introducing music into my classroom because I don't sing very well. And it's like, oh, it doesn't matter. There's so much. I mean, there's so much. Children don't need you to be an expert singer. Music is going to come from an emotional place too, right? I mean, the more confident you feel about it, the more you're going to expand in maybe sharing it with your partner. I mean, I know people who came to my class who they've never sung in front of each other before. They were so shy about their voices. Right? Husband and wife, or partners. And then this class facilitated, okay, this is more, it's less about us and more about our baby. What can we do? What can we bring to our baby that where we don't have to feel self-conscious about it? So no lessons needed, no professional credentials. We are all musicians, and we all have the heart of musicians, and that's what we
I, I
bring.
I do agree with that. I think we all,
Good.
in our own private spaces, we hum and we sing and we always connect. Music, I think, is a universal language. I really do believe that. So I
I
do
think
feel
my husband loves to sing. He was very shy about his voice. I'm just gonna just segue into this just briefly because he's shy. I'm more
yeah,
gregarious.
yeah.
And when we started dating, I remember he saw my guitar. I invited him over. We had a nice meal, and he picked up my guitar and he started singing me a song. It was a really
Oh,
beautiful song. And I noticed he was nervous, like he was kind of shaking. Just like I could see, I think he just like broke out in a sweat, but he kept doing it. And
wow.
he put the guitar down, and I was like, wow, that was really beautiful, David. Thank you. He goes, I've never done it before, ever. And I was
Oh,
like, thank you for trusting me enough to, like, no matter what it sounded
yeah,
like, to be in the space with you. And then I
yeah.
knew I was going to marry him because, like, right?
Because he sang for you.
He said it for me. Right, why not?
That's all you need, right? A singing man.
Right? But he was
Great
self-conscious,
society. I think that's
but
really
he broke
sweet.
through it. He broke through it.
That's very sweet. Yeah,
And we
yeah,
need to do that too, because it's
yeah,
less about us and how we're feeling about our self-consciousness and more about, like, how does this expand my baby's life? How does this expand our family life?
yeah. I think that's really gorgeous. So I'm very excited about the classes that
Me
you're
too.
uh, working on, thinking on, curating. Do you want to take us through what it would be like? How is it going to be structured? And what you want to do? What's your vision for it? I'd
Um,
love to hear.
yeah, absolutely. So I usually, I'll have, you know, people join first by relaxation. So when we first come in, we do a lot of relaxation activities just to settle in, because I find that it just does take a little time to let go of the stresses of the day and the thoughts of the day. And we do some breathing work. Oftentimes I'll suggest people have rocking chairs. Rocking chair is such a great way. Rocking is such a soothing, it's such a self-soothing
Yeah.
um, thing to have like a skill to
Mhm.
have in your repertoire. Like, that's why I think moms have rockers. I mean, it's soothing for mom and
Yeah.
baby. So we'll
Mhm.
do that, and then we'll open up usually with a song. So we might sing, when I had done the Skip to My Lou, so we might do pat, pat, pat your baby, pat, pat, pat your baby, pat, pat, pat your baby, skip to my Lou, my darling. And I can change the words. I encourage parents, if they want to make up their own song, then they do that at home, and they keep it. So it's giving the baby that tactile
Mhm.
sense of touch and connecting it with the voice, and the voice they're already familiar with. And then we'll introduce instruments too.
Oh,
So
nice. Mhm.
we might do a few songs, and I like to kind of take the pulse of the group and see where they are. Um, if they've been sitting for a while, we may get up and do some like movement. So we might get up and start swaying, and we'll sing a song about swaying, and it usually is like a folk tune, something that I'm
Mhm.
familiar with and that other people are familiar with. And I'm starting to create more of a diverse repertoire. So I'm looking at songs that I've never experienced, that are familiar to moms from other parts of the world. And
Mhm.
I'm starting to incorporate more of those, and using the same tune
Oh,
and
that's
rhythms, but changing the words a little bit. Yeah, I mean, and I get to grow, because these are not
Mhm.
songs I typically grew up with, but they're
Sure.
beautiful. I mean, they're beautiful nonetheless. I mean, what a beautiful gift to give your child, and to a group too. Like, nobody wants to just be singing like American folk songs. I mean, right? I mean, there's so much music out there.
Yeah.
It's like, let's express this.
Mhm.
Let's share this together.
Mhm.
So we'll stand up and move around. Um, Sometimes after that, again, taking the pulse of the group, I might have people lay down. So sometimes I'll have them, if we're meeting in person, we'll usually have yoga mats, or, I just try to make women as comfortable as possible too. If they can't lie down, so sometimes a laying flat is contraindicated
Yeah.
depending on where you are in your
Yeah. Yeah.
pregnancy. So we'll
Mhm.
just sit, and usually, sometimes, mom's belly is big enough to hold like a little instrument. So I brought one of mine. So sometimes we'll
Oh,
have like a little xylophone. and we'll just rest it on the tummy. Just rest it right there. And then we might just all together, you know, maybe hit a G or a C, and we'll sing, and we'll do a steady beat. And then we can keep it, you know, we'll just keep it right on the belly. And it's a soft enough sound. And I always remind people that just because the baby is so padded and, you know, kind of deep inside, louder is definitely not better. I mean, we want to protect the baby's hearing, anything under probably like 50 decibels. Like, it's really important to keep it soft. It's all vibration, so they don't really need a lot of loud sounds. And I do remind people too that we use a megaphone, and sometimes we make our own. So we'll take like a big piece of poster board and roll it up, and we can sing. We can sing softly right into the tummy and just sing. And it's such a beautiful thing. We don't need to sing loud, but it's just transmitted right there, and we'll sing it. I often get asked questions about putting headphones. So I'm usually pretty careful about that. Like, once in a while is fine, but we have to be really aware of what the decibel level is with any kind of music, like picking up your iPhone and cranking it up and putting it, you know, on your belly. You know, we don't really know how safe that is. We don't know. Once hearing is lost, it can be a lifetime thing. So we want to protect the baby's hearing as much as possible, and our own. I mean, I'm guilty of cranking up the music pretty loud too. I'm better at that. So we have xylophones. We also sometimes we'll have like a little egg shaker, and you know, you can put it right on the belly and shake it, and can you hear it? It's a real soft sound, but it's a great kind of shake, 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 shake your shaker. And we can, you know, do some songs together. And again, those are things that we can, after the baby's born, you can still utilize. And one other thing, I'm not going to play this one. I don't know if my husband was playing it. I don't know. It's not working as well. But we use kazoos too. And it's so great because it's just a soft buzzing. Again, vibration. And we can do that into the megaphone. We can just look down and do it. Our partner can do it. And I just hum some songs that are really familiar. And then I often bring like an instrument with me. Like, I might bring my guitar. Do like a little sing along, or my ukulele. Part of this class, which I think is really important, is we're introducing all these beautiful, like all these sounds and this beautiful music. But part of the bigger picture is this community. We're developing a community, and that's really important. You know, just the idea of like, we're all here. We're communicating with this language of music, and we want to kind of hold the space. So oftentimes, even after classes, we've done like a 6-week session. When we're finished, we'll culminate with like a live. I might bring several of my classes together, and we've done this together at parks. We've done it online, where we're just all together, and then we're just singing and we're just enjoying music together. And it's a great way to kind of continue our community. And so I'll usually set that up maybe once a month, once every 6 weeks, where people can just kind of jump in if they'd like. And then some people jump in with their babies after the baby's born. And then
that's wonderful.
Yeah, it's like the Lamaze reunion, you know? It's just like, it's so fun, right? And then I get to
that sounds so fun.
I get to an exponential grandmother. Like, I get to see all these beautiful
you just make me, I wish I'd known you through my 2 pregnancies. I would have gone through all your classes. I would have gotten the kids to your class. Oh my God.
Teaching them at this point, because you have
I love how you sing. Every time you sing, I start swaying. I just start going like this. It's so nice. Oh gosh, Donna.
Well, I'm really excited. I have like 8 sticky notes here too. Like I love like today I was doing something. I was like, wait a minute. Remember this. This is like, so most of it I think I have, like the social
I was just gonna ask you to cover all of it.
Yeah. The womb is the discotheque, hearing developing. This one I think is really important, and we've talked about it several times. But you know, learning is based on brain plasticity. So when I went to college, It was a long time ago, and my background is in learning and behavioral disorders. So, you know, and psychology. When I went to college, the brain was fixed. You couldn't change it. That was the science. Well, we know that that's not true. And I remember when that data started coming out, I was like, wow, okay, I knew we could change things. Like, there's no way that the brain is just this fixed entity. And so the whole idea of neuroplasticity, well, the idea too with music is music does ignite different areas of the brain, areas that have to do with reading, with language development, with cognition. There's a whole bunch of areas that light up. And again, those create those neural networks, and we can continue to create those. And the interesting thing about neural networks and neural pathways is they do get pruned. So it is a use it or lose it. So if you continue with music, those neural networks will keep on growing. They won't get pruned away. They'll just keep growing, which is amazing because that's the brain, right? All that plasticity. And
well, I just going back to that, like it's amazing. I just remembered a lot of our teachers in high school when we were studying, and in India, like we had a lot of things we'd have to memorize. There was lots of facts that we'd have to memorize for the exams. And our teachers would always help us put those facts in a song to remember those facts. Like, that's how we would do it. Like, all the little acronyms and, like, chemistry symbols and everything, we would put it in, like, a song for the exam. And that's how we would remember it.
That is brilliant.
It's amazing how the brain is wired. Like, when you have a music, you remember things better. Like, it somehow has a better impact on the memory, which is absolutely stunningly amazing.
Isn't it incredible? I mean, I hadn't thought about this before, but in the 70s, there was that whole series of grammar songs that were on television. And I still remember them to this day. Like, one of them was conjunction, junction, what's your function? I mean, I remember them, but what a great way to learn, right? And then you'll never forget it.
Yeah, you'd never forget it. And otherwise, you'd never remember those facts.
Well, I'm telling you, I hope to see a bunch of people in this class. I mean, it's so much fun, and I'm really looking forward to offering it.
Me too.
Yeah, it grows. You know, that's the great thing about it, is that the classes continue to grow in the type of music that is offered, and the breath work that is offered, and the experience and the community. And I always find it just such a great joy.
I mean, other than the content, I think you're a wonderful person to learn from.
So thank you.
I would be in your class.
Well, you could sign up, and I'll just sing to you. Which is,
I think I'll do that.
My
your guitar.
Can you hear it?
Yes.
It's my ukulele. Are we getting ready? Are we probably getting close to finishing up, right?
I mean, go for it though.
Well, I was just gonna sing a song. Goodbye, my friends. It's time to go. Goodbye, my friends. It's time to go. Goodbye, my friends. It's time to go. I'll see you in our new music class. Anyways, I love my ukulele. That's so much fun.
Oh, I thought it was a guitar for a second. Oh, that's wonderful, Donna. What a beautiful note to end the class on, or the chat on.
I could just stay here forever. I should have made a cup of tea, but let's do this again.
I think that.
Let's do it again. I mean,
oh my gosh, I love
it. I mean, we can answer questions about it. I mean, there's so much.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just so
I
amazing.
absolutely love this. Well, let me see if we have any questions. No, we don't have any questions yet, but we have a lot of messages. Pratima says, what a lovely voice.
Thank you.
You do. You have a very soothing voice. It's beautiful to listen to you.
I was shy about my voice for a long time. Isn't that funny? And I loved music, and I used to play flute and a bunch of instruments, but I was always self-conscious. I mean, for a long time I was. And then one day I was just like, you know what? I need to just go.
Yeah,
let it go. Yeah. Now, I'm so lucky up here in my office, I can open it up, and I hear, I'm close to the bathrooms for our elementary middle school, and I hear people singing all the time, and they don't know that I can hear them, and I'll hear Let It Go all the time. Some kid in there, like full voice. I'm like, oh, you go.
Oh my God, that is so cute.
It's really sweet.
Oh, that's adorable. That's a very funny story.
So sweet.
Madonna, thank you. This was such a wonderful chat. I don't know, I love speaking with you, and it's just wonderful to hear everything you've got planned for this class. And I, for one, am very, very excited and looking forward to,
Me too.
yes, the launch and your classes. And I hope people get everything out of it. I'm sure they will.
Yeah, and I'll offer lots of like resources too. That's one thing I forgot to add. Just lots of not just evidence-based resources, but other things that you can do in addition that just make it so much fun. So where to get instruments if you want. Yeah, how to make instruments. I mean, making things is such a fun thing to do, you know, together. So
yeah, I know you mentioned your drum that you made at home. Wow, I'd love to learn that at some point for
I'll
sure.
do it for sure.
Oh, this is wonderful.
I know I could stay on forever, but I'm going to clear up my sticky notes. And I just got a message that somebody brought empanadas. So
nice, nice.
the life
Happy
of
lunching.
teacher or education director.
Yum.
We're so lucky. Well,
oh, thank you.
Here.
Oh, wonderful.
And
thank you, Donna, for taking time out.
Thank you so much. I can't wait to do it again, and I'm so excited for the launch. I'm so happy to be offering this class again.
Oh,
really
we're very excited. This is going to be super fun.
All right, I'll talk to you soon.
Okay,
all right, bye everyone.
Bye. Goodbye, Donna. See you soon. Thanks everyone for joining.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.